guy?
Just Loki.
Hello, my name Just Loki. Is that your first name or your last name? Is both.
Jaslowski? Is he Polish?
How do you pronounce?
Hey you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friends are going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Dorkening. We have an awesome show scheduled for you today. We're going to be talking about a lot of dork stuff. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a full house. And as always, powerful Brandon. How's it going, my friend?
It's going very well, Leo. Thank you very much. I hope everyone else is having a great day as well.
I'm sure they are. It's guaranteed. Velvet Joker Rich. How's it going, my friend?
Having a great night. Ready to talk about Loki.
Oh, totally. You were so itching to talk about it last night on Splash Pages. And for those of you that don't watch, you got to be watching Splash Pages. Check out Rich's show every Tuesday, and some awesome stuff. And I for some reason I'm getting a little fearful. There's some splashing about. There's
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Patsy.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And, I hope this isn't too sexy for everybody out there because, as you know, every girl's crazy about a shark-dressed man. So I hope it's not too sexy.
Are you too sexy for your shark?
That's like one of those conundrums, like, could God make a rock so big that he himself could not lift it?
I like to think of it as God making a burrito, microwaving a burrito so hot, could he not even eat it?
That's true. I know a book that's got all the answers.
We'll share it after the show, pal.
So I have to ask, would it be a Hot Pocket and not a burrito?
I mean, it could. I mean, microwave burritos are a thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I know, but Hot Pockets, they always come out way too hot.
I did see a meme going around of the Alanis Morissette flavored Hot Pocket. It's one hand in my pocket, and it was just. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh my fucking god!
It was one of the first things I saw this morning.
Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? Based on the definition that Alanis Morissette thinks that word has.
Yes.
Guys, it's not ironic.
It's merely coincidental.
It's just coincidence.
I've mentioned this before. I don't think I mentioned it on this show though. But do you know she's on the Great North?
Yes.
And
that sounds right.
And she plays God, and she also played God in Kevin Smith's.
She's not God. She is what's her name is
the
imaginary friend.
Yeah, I wasn't she in the very first episode as well?
She's in all the episodes.
Yeah.
Well, not all, but she's in quite a few.
She's in a lot of. I could have sworn she referenced her as like God or something like that.
Well, the most recent one, she did make a reference to Dave Coulier, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Nice.
It's a great show. If you're not watching it, it's on Hulu. It's not Bill Hader. Yeah, Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah. Not the guy that's. I always confuse Bill Hader with Will Forte.
And they just added this season Ron Funches.
Yes, and who is King Shark in Harley Quinn. Dulce Sloan from The Daily Show with Trevor Noah plays Honeybee. And, of course, Megan Mullally's in it because it's...
Because Nick Offerman's in it.
Yeah, it's a law. It's like if you have something that, that Tim Burton directed, you have to have Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, which most people don't know that in 1989, Helena Bonham Carter doubled for Michael Keaton in a lot of the Batman scenes.
Yeah, mostly the ones where he was dressed as Bruce Wayne at the party, right?
Yes.
I thought that looked an awful lot like her.
Yeah, anytime it's from behind, it's Helena Bonham Carter.
Tom Morissette. Sorry, Tom Morissette.
Wow.
Tom Morris said, fun fact, Atlanta Morissette was once in a You Can't Do That on Television.
Yep, she was a regular cast member for a couple of years there.
That was fraudulent advertising because they did, in fact, do everything that they did on television.
Didn't everyone get sick from the slime?
Somebody tell Alanis that's irony.
The ironing is delicious.
That is ironic, Alanis.
Rich, I remember hearing the same thing, that they all got sick from that.
Yeah.
They got sick from what?
From like the slime
and the heat, because it was under those hot lights.
That's pleasant. Hey,
yeah, imagine how that smelled.
Well, there goes all my sunshiny memories of watching You Can't Do That on television. Thanks for that. Another happy Wednesday here at the Dorkening.
Crushing dreams, one memory.
One Wednesday at a motherfucking time.
So I know, Patsy, you're wearing that costume for a reason.
Yeah, because it's Wednesday.
What
are you kicking me off?
You certainly wear it for a reason. Whether it's a sane one.
People who are furries but also use aquatic animals as their avatars are very brave. Just saying that. I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying, anybody could be a squirrel or a gopher. Try being a shark.
So instead of a furry, wouldn't that make you a roughy?
Finny.
Be
finish. No.
Smoothie.
I haven't even started.
Okay, so I do this on splash pages, and I know Rich knows what I'm going to be doing. So we're talking about. Okay, so
Sophia.
Thank you. So if you're a fan of Golden Girls, which I am, I'm channeling my inner Sophia. Picture Sicily, 1975. It was the dawn of summer. The population did not know what was about to hit them. Gas cost 57 cents a gallon. Gerald Ford was president. Cincinnati beat the Boston Red Sox in the World Series. And The Godfather Part 2 won the Academy Award for Best Picture. We paid a ticket price of $2.03 to forever be scared of the water due to Jaws, the first summer blockbuster. Also that year, we saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Apple Dumpling Gang by Disney, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show made an appearance. On the boob tube, we watched Laverne and Shirley, The Bionic Woman, Happy Days, MASH, and Kojak. And if you're a kid in 1975, every Saturday you sat down and watched a live-action Shazam, also Grape Ape, Yogi's Gang, Valley of the Dinosaurs, Pebbles, and there was a little thing called Ghostbusters in 1975, a live-action show.
I just love the way you kind of did that segue, because the way you said it, it sounded like you said Laverne and Shirley, the Bionic Woman, which would have altered that show quite a bit, I think.
Hello, Cheryl.
So yeah, it's I got us into the mindset of 1975. We're
1975, sitting down in front of the fucking TV on Saturday mornings. The only place I was sitting in 1975 was the fucking bottom of my dad's ball sack, because I was -7. Jesus Christ.
Well, I was a ripe old 4 years old watching that Shazam show on Saturday morning.
Funny enough, I did actually watch a lot of that Shazam show and the old serials with my dad as a kid growing up in the 80s, because he was a giant geek and that was his shit. So Superman and Shazam were like big for me as a little guy, and that's shortly after I was like 2, I became aware of He-Man, and game over.
Yeah. So you were -7. Rich was 4. I was 1. Patsy, you were negative what?
6. No, -20. I wish. But we got a new comment from I know it says Facebook user, but that's our good friend. It says hi Leo. That's our good friend Jimmy Bells, who just welcomed in a new sidekick, appropriately named Robin, into the universe. It's only a matter of time before he starts training her in martial arts.
Yes. James, we're so happy for you to welcome your little one. It's you are very blessed.
Congrats.
Yeah, huge congrats.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Oh, James, if you're listening, man, the marshmallows are on their way. They should be there soon. He'll know what that means.
Oh, no way.
The fox is in the hen house. You know what to do.
The ice is very slippery, but the sun is shining.
Is the tablecloth red?
I can't say what books it's a fan of. I don't know.
So it's the, what, 40th anniversary of Sharknado?
Six. Oh, Sharknado is scientifically plausible, but we don't have enough time to get into that.
No, I don't think we do.
Because I would spend an hour just on the physics of that.
On Token, we interviewed a guy who, when watching Sharknado, thought of his most recent movie, and instead
Sharkicane.
No, it's zombies. Zombies falling from the sky.
Zombie Rain.
Yeah,
isn't that the song that Tay Zonday sang?
Zombie Rain.
Zombie sharks.
Oh, yeah.
I did see a drag queen perform It's Raining Men on this past Saturday.
What? It's Raining Men was performed at a drag show? Get the fuck out of town.
Right? It was also raining.
There was a zombie shark movie. It was
Zombie Shark.
Zombie Jaws.
Well, oh yeah, Zombie Shark. But there was also, isn't Sky Sharks?
Yes.
Aren't they? It's zombies riding zombie sharks.
Nazi zombie sharks.
Nazi zombie sharks that fly.
Yes. I know several people who are in that film.
How much crank was involved in the fucking writing of that?
Marcy!
Marcy!
Actually, we're gonna have the star on next week on Monday. It's I still
he's one of the people. I know multiple people, and Jan is one of them.
Yeah.
Yes. And amazing director Kurando Mitsutaki is also in it.
Yes.
Director of Gunwoman, right?
Gunwoman, Karate Kill.
Yes.
And he was also on Heroes. He was when Hero went back in time and was facing down the Japanese, the scary Japanese legend guy. That was Kurando.
Oh,
really?
Really? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't even remember the name. It was supposed to, it was like fucking.
I think I watched it like
Kaiser
8 years
Soze
ago.
or some shit. It's not worth watching past the first season of that show.
Yeah.
But
garbage.
He's an awesome dude though, and
Kurando fucking rules. Yeah,
he does.
Well, I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna put my Oscar nomination in for this Nazi zombie shark movie. That fly. I can't remember that they fly. Can't forget.
Well, I think they get dropped out of planes and they glide more than fly. Because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the fucking line.
You are pushing the boundaries of scientific plausibility.
Whoa, pal. Maybe
now, are they controlled by Nazis? Or they get on the Nazi political stance.
No, they get ridden by zombies. They have no strong feelings one way or the other.
They're just service animals at that point.
Yes.
But if you're interested in watching it, Velvet Joker, I will get you access to it.
Okay. I love Leo gives me access.
Yeah. He's like, shit, I need to watch something else.
That generally costs $40 for Leo to give you access.
I get the group rate.
That's a real deal. I'm a little jealous.
25, bring your own lube.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Before we talk about the dork news, we just wanted to pay homage to Jaws because, like you said, it is the 46th anniversary. And, we had recently Jeffrey Combs, who was...
Jeffrey Voorhees.
Jeffrey Voorhees. Why did I say Combs?
Because Jeffrey Combs is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of stuff. So
he's probably been on this podcast without anybody realizing it. He probably played you at one point, Leo.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Jeffrey Voorhees, who was a little Kittner kid in Jaws, and we learned a lot from him. Especially, he gave a really good reason why Bruce kept on breaking down.
Because him and his friends kept breaking into the warehouse and jumping on it and playing on it and pulling teeth out of it and shit.
What? I don't know. What? It worked fine yesterday, right?
Where's my check? And where's that kid with my latte?
Patsy, why don't you kick it off? What are your, I know we all love Jaws and it is a fabulous movie, but I want you to reminisce about maybe like the first time you saw Jaws or what struck it for you to have such a love for this movie that you have to, you have to embody, Bruce himself, what makes you tick?
Well, there's a lot of things, but one of the things people that people mistake about me is that I'm obsessed with sharks for some reason. Oh, hold on, I found a quarter. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about obsessed. I mean, I'm enthusiastic, but wait, what was it? Oh, sorry. Mittens wants to come sit with me. So this is my therapy shark. His name is Mittens. He's 5.5 feet long, and so he's almost as big as I am. There you go. Now you can see him a little better. As you can see, he has a standard 5 gills. But yeah, so yeah, the fact that people say that I'm obsessed with sharks is kind of overrated. But Jaws was one of those movies that I watched back when I was very young. Hold on, I need a quick drink here. Oh, that's good stuff. But yeah, it's a movie I watched when I was very young, and I was lucky enough that where we lived, there was a video store very close, and I was allowed to watch some of these scarier movies because we had spent a lot of time watching the making of Thriller. So we got to see all like the behind the scenes stuff and how they made the zombies. And it wasn't as scary to us anymore because we kind of got to see, the peek behind the curtain. And so Jaws was kind of the same thing. Like when we'd see death scenes and you see somebody getting, chopped up or, like Quint's death, my mom was explaining like, all the blood that's coming out of his mouth, like, he's spitting it out and like he's actually got a little pad under his back. So he's not really getting bitten and this and that. So, it's, it's just one of those movies that stuck with me. And I've always been fascinated by the ocean. My brother was obsessed with the Titanic. I was obsessed with sharks. Again, more of an enthusiasm than an obsession. But this film, because you don't get to see the shark so much, like I always thought was like, and I'm sure other people did as well, thought it was such a brilliant storytelling technique that, by the time you finally see the shark after, it's been terrorizing everyone, it turns out that, he's really just misunderstood. Like, a lot of people confuse the type of thing that happened in Jaws with what's called a rogue shark attack, like a shark that will just stake out an area and just swim around attacking anything that moves and terrorizing the local community. That is false. There's no such thing. Generally, what you see as, what you saw in the 1916 Jersey Shore attacks, there were multiple sharks that were killing bathers on the Jersey Shore. And actually, they weren't great whites. They were bull sharks because some of them swam upstream and killed a bunch of people who were swimming in a river. And bull sharks are able to do that because they can store, they have special organs where they are able to store salt water in their body and cycle it through so they can spend, not a ton of time in freshwater, but they can go back and forth. But it killed an 8-year-old kid. One of them killed an 8-year-old kid, and then another one, somebody tried to save the kid, and then he got killed too. He was like 22, and so there were quite a few killings along the Jersey Shore, but they're like, oh, we got one. That should be it, right? You know, kind of like what we see in Jaws when they get the tiger shark. So they're like, oh yeah, you know, that's probably it, you know. And that guy had the best line reading of all time. What kind is it? A tiger shark. A what? Greatest line reading of all time.
Yeah, Patsy, I read the article today doing a little research knowing that it was a possibility that was coming on, and they said that there was a white tip shark that they found 10 pounds of human meat in its stomach after they caught it.
I wouldn't be surprised. White tips aren't huge, but it's probably, you know, once one shark gets in, like if you've ever seen like a video of a feeding frenzy, generally the larger sharks will be up at the top and the smaller sharks will be down at the bottom catching whatever doesn't get eaten. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
And they cited that there were only 2 times in history that sharks have really gone after people in like a multiple occasion type situation. So it is extremely rare, but I think we could probably all attest to having a certain fear now of the ocean water.
I mean, it depends. It depends on where you're going. Like, as long as you educate yourself. Like, if I'm going to North Carolina, I'm not going into the water because bull sharks tend to frequent there. But if I'm going to Cape Cod, which I go quite a bit, there's a lot more seals in the water than there are people. And one of the things that's a myth about sharks that they don't like the taste of human meat. Sharks are fairly intelligent. When they're biting you, they don't have hands. I mean, no mittens. They don't have hands, so they can't like touch and you know, kind of see, you know, like you squeezing a ripe melon at the supermarket. That's the shark taking a nibble of you. Basically, what it's trying to do is, I'm trying to see if I'm a shark and I take a bite out of you. I'm trying to see if it's worth my expended energy to attack and consume you. And if you don't have enough fat in you, well, I'm not going to waste my time because sharks digest very slowly. So if they were to eat a seal, that could, you know, one large seal would last them a month because the seals have so much blubber and it takes so long to break down. And sharks generally just kind of cruise until they need to, like, you know, dart forward and attack something.
Well, that's fun. Eesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you mentioned a fear of the ocean, but, you know, Jaws affected me so much that any form of water, I was scared. Like going in a pool, even nowadays, swimming in a lake, I know there's nothing there, but something in the back of my mind says, I'm going to see a shark.
It's your lizard brain.
Yeah.
Could be a bull shark, though, Leo. You never know.
Yeah, he could have been lifted up by a water spout and dropped into the middle of the lake.
Yeah. Well, in doing research for this myself, is apparently there was they found bull sharks in the Great Lakes.
Yes, that's what made them great.
Oh, nice.
Before that, they were just the lakes.
They were just lakes. It's like, oh, there's sharks in there? That's great. These lakes are great.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Which all the lakes named themselves, guys. I think you might get a little mad at me. Why? What name did you pick? It's not that you're inferior.
This is more a comment of me than it is of you. Oh, man.
I know the first time I saw Jaws, I was real young. I must have been, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7. And I was told I was too young to watch it. And I begged my
anyway.
Well, I begged my parents for me to watch it. It was going to be on TV. And my sister said she'd watch it with me. And I remember like sitting on a couch and like the first chomp, they told me I jumped up and I was behind the couch for the rest of the movie.
You don't even get to see it. Chrissy Watkins is just getting whipped around. Although I will say Susan Backlany playing her, great piece of acting because she snapped several of her ribs because of the harness they had her in.
Oh, no.
So the screaming was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that works. Use that take.
Yeah.
You're not That was perfect. Now do it again from the other angle.
Now do it again, just better.
We're going to do it from the ribs angle.
So what about you, Velvet Joker? Any memories that come to mind?
You know, I don't remember being super scared about it. I don't know. For me, it was always Children of the Corn. That was the one that freaked me the hell out. But more, I remember like the ramifications of after Jaws, because I mean, I was definitely scared of the beach and stuff like that. But then you had the Orca movie, and then you had Piranha, and I can't even count how many shark movies there have been since.
Oh yeah.
Don't
forget the alligator movies too.
Yeah, I forgot Alligator in the Sewer movies.
Yeah,
or out of the sewer.
Lake Placid.
I was gonna say Lake Placid. Yeah.
Well, in the like 80s, around the time of Orca and stuff, there was like a slew of like alligator sewer movies that came out as well. At least I remember.
Right, because
like
we're in New York City, we would
like
take
alligator
throw them down the toilet, and they would grow in the sewers.
Yeah. That,
you flush them.
That was a premise of one of the movies, actually.
Just one?
Phenomenal.
Powerful Brandon, what about you?
Honestly, I didn't see Jaws until I was maybe 10 or so, and at that point I had already seen a lot of other like horror movies, like scary movies. Jaws never really affected me with a fear of the water or anything like that. That was actually, I was terrified of Jason Voorhees, and that was only in like lakes, lakes or ponds. Open water, that was fine. Never fazed me. But I liked the movie when I was a kid, and I remembered playing the Nintendo game, which was terrible. At least I was bad at it. No one I knew was good at it. And as I got older, I mean, it was just, you know, I met more and more people that had seen the movie too, because I went to a parochial school, and you know, there wasn't like a lot of geeky stuff that you could talk about with a lot of other people there. And you know, that was just something I kind of kept to myself. Even my friends outside of school were like, yeah, it's a shark movie. Cool. And I'm like, no, it really is, man. You should really pay attention. I mean, I'm 39 years old now, and one of my absolute favorite things of all time is still the Indianapolis scene with Robert Shaw. Yeah. Like that is awesome. You can tell that so many film careers were decided upon as like a life choice because of that scene. Like so many kids saw that and they were like, I want to make movies for the rest of my life. Like like the shark stuff, all of that is terrifying, and it was so smart to go psychological because of the hindrance of the special effects. But man, it's just, the whole thing is just so effective. I have no specific memory other than always liking Jaws.
Nice. It's Steven from Super Retro says, first time I saw Jaws, I was 5 years old. I rented the VHS at the library, and it was still one of my favorite movies. Side note, I wasn't afraid of water after watching Jaws.
He was before, but this cured him.
Exactly, yeah.
Jaws will protect me.
Yeah.
Now, Patsy, how many barrels did it take to keep the shark down?
Well, to keep him from swimming down was 3. Not with 3 barrels on him. Not with 3, he can't. And he did, but just for a minute, because he's tired. You know, he'd been running around, you know, and for folks, you know, I'm going to spoil the ending of the book for you, which don't worry. For folks who haven't read the book, you know, like that's a central theme. They kept, you know, putting the barrels in him, and he doesn't eat Quint. He drags him down. He gets tangled up in a harpoon, much like Captain Ahab, because the shark became his obsession. And we see a little bit of that with Robert Shaw, but not quite as much as in the book. Hooper gets killed. He does not make it out like the shark gets him, but that's okay because
he's a scumbag.
Yeah, like he had been banging Brody's wife because he reminded her of his brother who she used to bang in high school, and like Brody had the opportunity to save him, and it was just like, no, you've been banging my wife, so let's the shark get him. So at the end of the book, the orca sunk, Quint's dead, Hooper's dead. Quint is still wrapped around the harpoon the harpoon rope that he stabbed the shark with. So the shark is coming. Brody's hanging on to like this seat cushion that he was told would support you if you're an 8-year-old. So like that's what he's holding on to in the middle of the ocean. The shark's coming. Brody closes his eyes, screams, and then the shark dies of exhaustion and sinks.
Wow, it's a real series of up endings there. Just
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
So the end of the book is Brody kind of like dunking his head under the water, kind of watching the shark slowly spiral down. Quint still in tow, and then he just like gets up, shakes his head, and goes to shore. Like okay. That's how the book ends.
Wow.
Oh, no boom.
No. The ending of the movie is much different.
Much more climactic. I'd
yes.
say. Yes. I got one for you. Did you ever notice, and I think I've mentioned this to you before, Pat, did you ever notice that the date that Alex Kintner is killed in Jaws is also the same date that Quint talks about the USS Indianapolis?
July 29th, 1947.
June 29th.
June like doll's eyes.
Yep. I was watching it actually just a couple of years ago. I had never really paid attention, and it just clicked. The sign that they hand painted for Alex Kintner over on like one of the docks, and then later on, while Quint is telling the story, I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
Yeah, I never noticed that myself, but
the only reason I really caught it is because like June 29th is like it's my and my wife's anniversary, so it's already a date that I'm acutely aware of.
Lives in infamy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it lives on in my heart. For Dara, probably infamy, absolutely.
It definitely wasn't 1947 because I would have made Alex Kintner 28.
Okay, not the same year, the same day.
Oh my God, he was reincarnated as Herbie Robinson, bosun's mate, baseball player. Herbie Robinson from Cleveland.
You know, Leo, I remember one thing that stands out in the movie to me. I think as a young child seeing the movie, the first time I really saw it when Alex Kintner's mom slaps Brody across the face.
Yes,
that was like really like shocking to see a grown woman slap a grown man in the face.
Oh, totally.
Felt real.
My biggest issue with the movie, and I mean, we won't because we've already been talking for like 40 minutes just about Jaws, which, you know, it's fine. But the biggest issue I've always had with it is there is a whole side theory about how Quint killed Ben Gardner, so he would be the only one who had a chance of getting the shark. When we find Ben Gardner's boat and Hooper pulls the tooth out, the tooth is wedged bottom down, point up, and there is no way for it to have gotten there like that, because if a shark is going to bite something, it's going to bite point down, so like the root would be at the top as opposed to wedged in that wood. If it was wedged in the wood like that, it was placed there.
Yeah.
Which kind of lends itself to, somebody did this intentionally, you know, and wanted whoever found it to think it was the shark. And you think, well, Quint's a smart guy. Why would he do that and have it, you know, completely backwards? Quint was drunk for a lot of the story. And from what we understand, so was Robert Shaw. Like you could smell him from like 15 feet away. And all the kids that were extras used to annoy the shit out of him because he didn't want to be around anyone or talk to anyone. And then I always come up to him, "Hi, Robert, how you doing? How's it going today?" And he's like, "You damn kids."
You know, that never really bothered me, and I never really picked up on it. But the one thing that bugs me about the movie, and even rewatching it. Actually, I rewatched it today for prep for today's show. Is the editing when Hooper is going over the first body, when he picks up the hand and he says, "And this is what you get," and then it's like that. What he says is so out of place.
Yeah, it's jarring because it's almost like they had to add something in, like to cut something out, like they didn't like it in post production, so they just added that piece in.
Yeah, and it bugs me still to today. But the one thing I do love about the movie, though, so I mean that's one thing I dislike, but what I love about it is like the whole small town feel. And we know that he hired a lot. Spielberg's hired a lot of locals for the movie. I mean, it's just the whole thing just has that whole New England feel, and I'm sure we all get that. All being from New England.
I mean, like I know they try. They try to make it seem like it's New York because of all the license plates, but like the opening scene where like they're doing the Boston accent, you can't say that here. You have to say "ka."
Yeah,
that's like that's definitely not New York.
Yeah, growing up, it felt like it was the Hamptons, but now that I'm older, it definitely feels more like Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's Martha's Vineyard, right? Is where it was filmed.
Correct. Yeah. And that is where Jeffrey Voorhees has his restaurant, and we did sort of confirm his the story that went around about him, where the woman who played his mother came in and was like, "Oh, the Jeffrey Kittner, like, oh, or the Alex Kittner, not Jeffrey, the Alex Kittner, like, oh, I was in Jaws and I played it." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, I was Alex Kittner. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in years." And he said that wasn't entirely true. Apparently, they both lived on Martha's Vineyard and they were both aware of each other's existence. They just hadn't seen each other. And it was nice. She came in one day. Apparently, people also come in. He said it's like 50-50. He gets people bringing Jaws and Friday the 13th merchandise to him.
Oh, yes. That is great.
He had somebody come in and they were like, "Oh, I got this off of eBay. Would you sign it for me?" And it was like a canceled check that he had thrown in the trash, and they paid $8,500 for it.
Oh, wow!
And he's like, after that, I started getting very selective about how I threw stuff away.
I bought an industrial-sized shredder.
They just bury it in the backyard with the rest of my doubloons.
Oh man.
I know we've talked a lot about Jaws. It's something we all love. One of us in particular, I don't know who has more of a fascination with it. But is there anybody that would like to have any last words on Jaws before we move on to the dork news?
I can't wait to see it for the first time.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Nice. One thing we forgot to mention there, you mentioned the Indianapolis, but I thought there's a rumor that they were thinking about doing a prequel with the Indianapolis.
Cool. Don't.
Yeah, they already did an Indianapolis movie starring Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage.
Well, and there you have it, gang. No other movie needed.
I mean, the only thing I can, it's called, let me see if I can remember what it's called. Indianapolis.
That's hard
and there's
to remember.
a picture, and it's a picture of a boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a big military type boat, or just like a
just a random tugboat. It was weird.
It's like a dinghy off the side of a yacht.
It's the Titanic.
Oh, like pre-trip. Oh no, like post iceberg, bro.
No, look, it's half of it. The one that Robert Ballard found in '86.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Half Titanic, half canoe.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will take a look for that movie. Is like the shark story obviously a big part of it or no?
I haven't seen it. I just know that it exists.
Okay.
but I would imagine like that's part of it.
It could be like a low key Jaws kind of prequel.
I mean, unless you get Ian Shaw, who, if you see him, looks exactly and sounds exactly like his father, and he's working on a documentary called something like "The Shark is Still Working," as opposed to the one that was like "The Shark is Not Working." So, but he does. There was a clip of him doing the Indianapolis speech and the nails across the chalkboard speech. Although I will say, for that scene, and this will be the last thing I say about Jaws, the most impressive thing.
Liar.
Well, for now, the most impressive thing is not Quint sneaking into the meeting without anyone seeing him. It's how he drew that shark freehand, and there's no erase lines. Like, he's a very talented artist, and nobody else gives him credit for that.
Okay.
All right. Well, Patsy, just one more thing on that shark, because I'll let you, relish in your sharkness for just a few more moments. Universal Studios, does that ride still exist, or have they retired it?
They retired it a few years ago, I believe. I forget what it is now. Probably like Jurassic Park or Back to the Future or Jurassic Future. I don't know.
Jurassic Future.
Back to the Park.
Back to the Park World Future.
That's it. Back to Winnipeg.
No, what's this all about?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well,
time has passed.
Where are we going? We don't need roads. Are you sure? Oh, yeah, we're driving. We're going to need those roads. Never mind.
Well, there's only one road. Y'all followed it the wrong way. Oh, Ottawa left.
Whoa, hey.
Newfoundland right.
Calm down there, friend. I don't mean to do you any harm. So I won't.
Aided by Canucks.
Okay, we were blessed with pictures of Supergirl this week.
Very cool. It looks to be more specifically based off of the Lara Lane Kent character, I guess from Injustice, the comic book continuation of the story that was set in the video games. I mean, that's quite an adaptation of the costume from the comic book. And that's Sasha Calle playing the character. She's her family's from Colombia, but she's actually from Boston originally, which I thought was very cool. And I'm quite interested to see how this all plays into The Flash, which is what these shots are from. You may also make note that we're not just getting some, potentially alternate reality version of Supergirl, but also an aged 1989 Bruce Wayne. It's Michael Keaton back in The Flash, and we have, our first real photo confirmation of him in the role. It's pretty impressive. I actually think he looks better now as Bruce Wayne than he did back then as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Well, that's because half the time he was being doubled by Helena Bonham Carter. We've already established this.
Has there been any word that if we're going to get Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas?
No, and quite frankly, I'm okay with that if we don't. I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but at this point, he's not anybody that would be good for that role. He's kind of past that prime spot where you'd need someone to play that Thomas Wayne, like the Batman Thomas Wayne. And he could pull off the gravitas, but I don't think the physical presence is one that would be easy to portray. He looks stretched out, man. It's
like butter spread across too much bread.
I mean, it would be interesting to see if they have like a Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, Batman Joker thing going on. But at the same time, no, I don't fucking want to see that, because like the last time I checked, hold on, the movie is called The Flash, so maybe
it's a DC movie, so you have to show Batman's origin.
I'm so fucking tired of it. So, listen, I grew up a DC kid. I love movies. I want all of the comic book movies to do well. I love the Marvel movies. I love Marvel comics as well. but like I have what I'm partial to. I have my predilections, you know. And DC was always my jam. I loved the Flash especially. I always dug the fact that he was a crime fighter in both of his guises, as Barry Allen and as the Flash. And he was just no good dude. And then even by the time I started reading it, he became the Flash, not just because he got the powers, but he was a comic book geek and he named himself after his favorite comic book character. You know, like I love that shit. That's Barry Allen, like through and through. And to take away from all that and just like throw another fucking bat symbol at something, I swear to Christ, like it's just any fucking reason. And please do not get me wrong. I'm not shitting on anybody who likes the character of Batman. Like Batman is a cool character, but Batman is not a character who should necessarily be involved in everything. And that's what's been happening more and more, not just in these films and in cartoons and stuff, but the comic books. Like Batman is a street level fucking crime fighter. Like let's think about Gotham, the shit that we loved about like the comics and like older comics, especially, and like the Deanie Tim animated series, you know, that shit is dope. It makes sense. That is what Batman is as a character and how it should be executed. I think most people agree upon that because it's so revered. With everything else that's been going on, Batman should not be the fucking center of a goddamn cosmic calamity that changes the multiverse forever. That is fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Unless he had enough prep time.
Oh my God, dude. I'm having a fucking stroke. Is my nose bleeding?
I smell toast.
Listen, but I will say I'm down for Michael Keaton being involved in this only because, first of all, I like Michael Keaton. It's hard to be mad at Michael Keaton being in anything. He's a charming fucking guy. He's super talented. It's the fact that if he's doing this and he looks the way he does, could we potentially be getting a Batman Beyond live action movie? That would be unbelievable.
Or are we getting The Dark Knight Returns?
Well, I think we kind of already got that with Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Which still befuddles me as a title. That's like a fucking legal heading. Like it's like fucking Kramer v Kramer, for Christ's sake.
It was Batman 5 Superman because they fought for 5 minutes
of
a 3-hour runtime.
We don't want Michael Keaton to play it low key. We want him to get a little crazy.
Yeah, let's get nuts.
Yeah, I mean, after
that's what he says
Vulture,
at the craft service table.
After doing the Vulture, we need a little energy in his performance.
I think he's down. I think he's game for it. Listen. I think having him involved we know that Ben Affleck is going to be in there, just like, you know, quick in and out, whatever that's going to be. I don't think that they're going to spend too much time introducing like a lot of other Batman characters in this movie, because like that's 2 already in the flick. And they're obviously going to be going and doing a lot of shit that involves course correction / multiversal stuff. So maybe put that on the back burner with Batsy and worry about everything else that, you know, the story needs to like fix.
Well, so speaking of fixing, actually, really quick, Paula Leonard says, "Hi guys." Hopefully, I said your last name.
Hi, Paula.
Hey, Paula. So, from what I understand, this is supposed to be Flashpoint, and I mean, we've been saying for a long time that, you know, they can use Flashpoint to fix the DC universe.
I mean, they could do a lot of things to fix the DCEU, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Flashpoint to do it.
No, but it's the perfect pivotal point, which they could, because it's so.
Yeah, they could. I think that. Listen, I think that trying to base it on what the comic series Flashpoint was, where you have all the very pointed, separate portions of the entirety of that story, and then, of course, how it all converges to the ultimate conclusion. Like, listen, it's not a bad story, but there's so many moving pieces that everybody who wants to see Flashpoint has very specific things that they want the movie to show from the entirety of that comic book series. And I honestly think that's not a good place to start from in your expectations for this movie. I think the best course of action is to say the Flash can travel through time and the multiverse, which we've already seen once in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover on the CW with Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin in the same scene. Why do we need to have it be like Flashpoint? Like, let's just have him discover the multiverse. There's no need to do a whole like crazy, fucking weak Superman. Aquaman's king of Atlantis getting ready to war with the Amazon. Like, there's so much stuff. And quite frankly, like I said, like, how pivotal if you have Michael Keaton set up to be like the new Batman who's like kind of mentoring this Barry Allen. How pivotal is a Thomas Wayne Batman really going to be for that story? That to me just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I have a little bit more faith in Andy Muschietti than to think he's going to cram a third Batman in there just because, like, think about all the people that have been saying for years that they want Michael Keaton to come back and play like an older Batman. All right, you fucking got it. Are we going to still...
No, not like that.
Yeah, still listen to all the fucking people that are saying like, okay, now give us Thomas Wayne, fucking Flashpoint Batman. How about go fuck yourself? We just got
fuck
Michael
me
Keaton
yourself,
back.
you coward.
Yeah, do you know how hard it was to get this dude to come back to play Batman again? Fuck you. No,
this is what I'm right with you on this, and I think what they should do is they should use the name. Flashpoint, not Flashpoint Paradox or anything, but Flashpoint because it's catchy, sounds good. It's going to draw in the comic book nerds, and it's going to draw in some of the neophytes who are just there for because they like the movies. In the same vein as Infinity War. Infinity War was vastly different from the comics, kept a lot of the same elements.
Yeah.
So if they follow that type of formula, and like you're saying, the Flash can visit the multiverse. He doesn't have to reset everything.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I'm not necessarily opposed to it being called Flashpoint as like a quick, like reach out and grab you. That's a good hook. That's fine. I will say they did use that in the show as well. They did Flashpoint in the CW television show. And I think as much as they're trying to show that everything can meld and work and still together and separately, it'd probably be best if they just left it as The Flash and worry about any sort of like secondary title, like subtitle for any future installments. Because I think if you did do like Flashpoint, people would kind of be like, so wait, hold on. Is this the first one? Is this a sequel? It would just throw too many normies off, I think. And really, that's the last thing that anybody needs to do with a Flash movie.
Flashpoint 2, even flashier, even pointier. Too flash, too pointy.
Electric Boogaloo? No, wait, that's on the nose, isn't it?
The Revenge? No.
What are your thoughts there, Velvet Joker?
Honestly, but kind of what I'm sounding here from the guys, and I think I agree, is we just don't need to do that same storyline again. I mean, the animated Paradox was awesome. We've just seen different renditions of this. Can we just do a different Flash story altogether?
Yeah, here's the thing too, is how they've portrayed Barry Allen through Ezra Miller, even in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, both Justice League and this the cut. He's clearly shit has gone down. His father's in prison for the murder of his mom, which we all know he didn't really do. Yada yada. But he's still a funny kid. Like he tries to be upbeat, and like that is Barry Allen. He always is like, hey guys, let's go fight crime and be good. And that's his thing. That Barry Allen is an out and out like good kid. And I think it serves the character well to have this be like more of a romp. I don't want to say goofy. That's too far. More of an adventurous romp through these different realities and what have you. He's learning about what he can do with the help of this like other older Batman character. And like we as the audience, we get to see that, and we'll get all kinds of fun eye candy. And meanwhile, to be able to weave the fixes and retcons that they want and to get everything into like one more, I don't want to say one straight line, but like one less confusing direction. That's probably the best way to describe it. And you know, to make it like grimdark and have it be like apocalyptic, like, oh, if this doesn't happen, like the world's gonna end. Like stakes are good. We need something like that, but I think miring it in like the deep drama of like the Flashpoint paradox and cartoon and the comic book, like getting real grim and gritty with like people that we already know are established heroes, like that feels to me like a step backwards. We're trying to establish more of a groundwork for all these heroes to be seen as such and build off of that. You know, it's like the same thing as taking Superman and trying to like make him even like darker at this point. If you wanted to, like, don't do that. No one wants that. I mean, no one but Zack Snyder wants that.
I mean, unless we're doing Tower of Babel.
I mean,
I wouldn't hate that, but you know,
that was almost a movie anyway. That was so close. It was Justice League Mortal. It was to be done by George Miller. They were literally like a week and a half out from production. They were all in Australia. Adam Brody was Barry Allen. Armie Hammer Jr. was Bruce Wayne Batman. DJ Catrona was Superman. And both Adam Brody and DJ Catrona were in Shazam. They're both the older... I want to say Hector, but I don't think that's right. But the Latinx kid and Freddy, when the Shazam, whatever you want to say, hero, Gesundheit. But they were getting ready to do it. They had all this stuff ready to go. Megan Gale, an Australian actress, was cast as model was cast as Wonder Woman, and Jay Baruchel was going to be playing Maxwell Lord, the villain of the piece.
I'm the bad guy.
Oh, who's that guy that's in all the fucking Mad Max movies? Hugh Keys.
Yeah.
He was going to play Martian Manhunter.
The Toe Cutter and Immortan Joe.
I always it's like Hugh Keys Burn or something like that, but
something like that.
Yeah,
Hugh Jazz.
He was gonna play Martian Manhunter, and they were all ready for it, and it was all gonna be how Maxwell Lord took advantage of the files that Batman had on all the other Justice League members and slowly tries to take the league out, and they realize that he's not just some goofball representative, he's a major threat that's about to take them out, and it ends with Wonder Woman snapping his neck. Like that's what George Miller's movie was going to be, and like pretty intense, and it's George Miller, so it probably would have been like quite the
epic
spectacle, you know. But at the same time, I'm still kind of glad that didn't get made, because at the same time they were doing Christian Bale Batman with Chris Nolan, and you know, at that point you get to think like there was very little superhero cinema. And that most certainly would have confused the general movie-going audiences out there. They're like, but why Christian Bale not in this? And Giant Man is, I don't understand. And just like melt down, start screeching zeros and ones.
Yeah, Hugh Keys Burn.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was right.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Look at me, memory.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, you know, we can definitely theorize, you know, a ton of stuff about it. I just, you know, we know there's going to be the fanboys that put it down. I'm just excited for there to be an extension of DC Universe and just for more to happen. You know, it's just, and just hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I am eternally optimistic when it comes to these things, and
I think we need to be in DC fans.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people need to remember too. You know, Marvel has had it really good with what they've been doing, and I don't mean like, oh, they lucked out. No, they worked hard and they saw what they needed to do to reach where they are even currently.
Yeah.
That's smart, and it's also combined with good storytelling. But people need to also remember that Marvel had a lot of false starts and a lot of bad projects for a long time before you saw something like Iron Man hit the silver screen.
What?
Say what?
Even during that time, like, Eric Bana's Hulk.
Well, Eric Bana's Hulk came out before Iron Man.
I know, but then they kind of used that as a sequel with Ed Norton, like it's a pre-sequel boot.
I didn't mind. I actually didn't mind the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton.
I didn't either.
I like that movie a lot. But the thing is, DC, Warner Brothers, they have been making that stuff for decades.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to look at Richard Donner's Superman the movie back in '78 as the starting point, I mean, that's quite the lead-in to everything else. And it just got to the point where Marvel, because they had sold their rights to different people, like everybody was trying to do a bunch of different things, and they finally decided to form their own studio and say, like, no, maybe we should try to do this shit ourselves. And obviously that was the right move, keeping it in-house and having creative control.
Keeping it in-house, having creative control, but also not letting the suits dictate. When DC...
Well, more to the point, not that not having the suits dictate, have one of the suits be a fan who loves story. Like, that's the thing. It's a hard combination, I think. You can get the brain or you can get the heart, but to get both, that's tricky.
Yeah, when you make decisions on a movie because of toys, or hey, we're doing stuff wrong. Let's try to be like Marvel all of a sudden, it's yeah, they definitely, DC definitely took some wrong steps, but like you said, just being eternally hopeful, it's one day.
I mean, Wonder Woman 84 notwithstanding, I mean, it's not by any stretch of the imagination like the greatest movie, but I had fun with it. It's silly. You can see the things that just don't make sense. But like, whatever. It's a popcorn movie, and I've definitely seen far worse. Not a problem. But I honestly think that they've been doing fairly well since Justice League was canned. Like, they just moved it aside. Since that point, I feel like they've been doing very well. I mean, Birds of Prey wasn't like my cup of tea per se, but I can see it was made very well. And I know
it was fun.
Yeah, I know some people like that movie kind of like, went up their ass sideways. You know what? Get over it, man. Like, you'll be fine.
Well, I mean, Birds of Prey, Shazam was phenomenal. Aquaman was amazing. Wonder Woman, obviously.
And Leo, you know what's really looking good? That Suicide Squad.
Oh,
man.
Yeah. I was just gonna real quick before we talk about that, because it definitely the same kind of thing here. DC and Warner Brothers always find the most success altogether with any of their comic book IPs being turned into movies when they utilize horror/thriller directors. Every single time, like without fail. I swear to God, if you hear of a DC movie being directed by somebody who's never really been known for horror, it's probably going to be absolute trash.
But by the same token, go the other way. Like, you said Andy Muschietti, James Gunn, like, both have significant horror chops.
Yeah. But I mean, even Patty Jenkins was known for Monster. You have all the way going all the way back to Dick Donner with Superman the movie. His most popular thing was The Omen, which was a horror movie. He was able to get his foot in the door of that community altogether because of The Twilight Zone, because he directed Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Then you have Wes Craven doing Swamp Thing. Tim Burton, not to say horror through and through, but Tim Burton doing Batman. Even Joel Schumacher did the fucking Lost Boys and Flatliners before he came over and did Batman.
Yeah.
I know we didn't get a second season, but the most recent Swamp Thing was also very dark and monster-like.
Yeah, and that was James Wan produced.
With Derek Mears.
Derek Mears as the titular character, yeah.
Yeah, and James Wan with Aquaman.
Yep, he directed Aquaman. I mean, David F. Sandberg, lights out. He's the one doing Shazam. And that dude is hilarious, by the way. You should follow his Instagram and Twitter. Fucking riotous. But yeah, like all these horror directors, they know how to use resources wisely, and they always try to focus on story, and it shows. And it's amazing a lot of the restraint that they do display when it comes to what they're putting on the screen, because they could just go like, oh, this is a lot of money and I'll just throw it all up there. But for Christ's sake, I never thought that Aquaman would be like even a halfway decent movie. Never in a million years. I thought it was going to be one of the most ridiculous undertakings a movie studio could have ever tried. Well, and then I saw it and I was just like, what?
Well, especially when they're saying like, he's going to be, accurate to the cartoon. We're going to get the Black Manta mask. We're going to get, you're going to get the Aquaman and the gold riding the
two dolphins.
Yeah.
Using starfish as throwing weapons.
Yeah.
Did we need the squid playing the drums? Did we really need that?
Yes, some of us did.
Yes. It's just like the goat playing the guitar in 300. I mean, you gotta throw in your musical animals where they can. I mean, those guys have a tough time getting work.
Really wanted me to.
But it's just it is interesting to note, like with all these different things, like there's a lot of stuff that's been working for them. There's been some really smart picks lately for filmmakers to be heading these projects, and with their utilizing the multiverse to maybe kind of course correct and show that it's something that exists already. It's really interesting to note that in like a project that we're seeing now from Marvel on Disney Plus, Loki utilized the creation of a multiverse to try to gear us up and prime us for what we're going to see. Going back to the beginning, almost prologuing in WandaVision, and then forward into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I think that they can also use that just to, kind of correct any inconsistencies or plot holes or anything. Oh, sorry, no, that was a different multiverse.
Well,
like, why does the Darkhold look different in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than it does in WandaVision? Oh, different multiverse.
Also, they're saying the Darkhold was also in Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
was
it was on the in the library.
I thought it was a book that wasn't there. You could tell like there was a space that the book should have been. That's what it was in Doctor Strange, and that's what we see Agatha in possession of in WandaVision. I could be wrong though.
I saw the same thing you did, and I thought it was also the book that Tycinius or whatever his name was. Caecilius, yeah. Tore the page out of.
I thought that was the.
Right, that's what I thought the empty spot was.
Yeah, I think so too.
Time for a rewatch. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, right now.
But I
Pull
mean,
it up.
great transition to go into Loki. And I know, Rich, you've been biting your tongue like yesterday. You want to talk so much about it, and we couldn't.
I did, but I had to have respect for Drew, who'd seen none of it. So he's a bad nerd right now. Bad nerd, Drew.
I haven't seen the most recent one. I haven't watched today's, but I have seen the other two.
Well, there you go. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine.
And
spoil
that
away.
concludes our Loki talk.
No, spoil away because I'm going to watch it right after this.
I got to be honest. I was more excited about the first two episodes than this latest episode that I watched 2 hours ago. But as I was telling Leo behind the scenes last night, I went down the YouTube rabbit hole of how they're really the potential of them forming the whole Marvel universe, and possibly with it for those Patsy, you've seen the second episode, the bombing, the time bombing, if you will, of the time stream, the potential universes and the places that were listed on the screen. One of the YouTube goes over each one of those things individually, so it's really super fucking anal. And the potential retcons of everything we've seen in the universe and how it could just totally be changed and fuck everything up, but at the same time create an amount of stories and channels that will provide them for years and years to come.
Sweet, we've got Tony and Steve back.
Wait, so if I want to find that, I go to Google, I type it, was it anal stream video? Okay, cool.
Screen Crush. Just go down the rabbit hole with Screen Crush.
Screen Crush. Okay.
There was one that I sent to everybody in the group today, I believe,
I watched it, yes.
Who the real villain is and like how, like that guy's pretty good. That's the same guy that figured out how many calories were in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Right. But so are we all saying that the main alien timekeeper that looks like the guy who's going to be playing Kang the Conqueror, and also I think he's also going to be playing Hawkman.
What? He's playing Hawkman? First of all, why is anybody putting Hawkman in something? Like, I mean,
we heard what you said about Batman, so we put in Hawkman. It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
You're still complaining.
I don't fucking get it, for real. Like, Hawkman as a concept, as a secondary or tertiary character, all day, every day. The second you make him a main character, I remember as a kid in the 90s, like any number of times they tried to start up a new motherfucking Hawkman comic book series, not like a mini, like an ongoing. And it was always like I'd walk in and it would be May, and it'd be like, a nice big splash of him on the front, just like soaring majestically with mace in hand and wings behind him, and it would be Hawkman #1, the beginning of a bold new era. And then I'd walk into the store in fucking June, and it would be Hawkman #2, the end of a bold new era, because they had already gotten fucking canceled. Because nobody fucking cares. Like, Hawkman, more like Hackman. Ugh.
No, he was in the original Superman movies.
Criminal genius, which the world has never seen.
Hackman.
Anyway, the
maniac
that looks like the actor that's going to be playing Kang. So, do we think that there are no timekeepers, that it's just Kang behind the scenes, and him and the judge got a little thing going on behind the scenes?
If not the judge, the little time clock lady with voiced by Tara Strong, because if you look,
Miss Minutes.
Yeah, she's everywhere. She is everywhere. She was on the promotional stuff before the series dropped. She's on the little like PDA things that they have on their wrists.
I read an interview by her. She still has much story to go at this point.
I saw the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonathan Majors is playing Kang.
Yes, Jonathan Majors. Thank you.
He also played Tick in Lovecraft County. Lovecraft Country, whatever. Yeah, that was a good show, by the way.
I haven't finished it, but it's literally right down the street from my house. Like that's where Lovecraft Country
is. The woman who was playing like the head TVA officer there, that like first grabs
Gugu
Loki.
Mbatha-Raw.
No,
not her.
Not her. The one that grabs Loki.
Okay.
Security guard. Yeah, she was in Lovecraft Country as well.
She's in Lovecraft Country as well. She plays Journey Smollett's sister in it. Yeah. So it was very cool to see her. I was like, oh, because she's great in that show as well.
Oh, she's good in Loki.
Oh, I mean, I haven't seen a bad performance. Have you even seen the stuff so far for Loki on like the little Easter eggs in the background with like variant characters?
Yes,
I've been trying to not watch those yet.
Well, they have the 800 BC thing, which is the Rama Tut connection.
Okay. But I meant like specifically they have characters that they're pulling in as variants in the back. Like you can see like Peggy Carter is one of them that they pull in one of the episodes.
Right.
There's all kinds of speculation now. Like, is that Peggy from the reality branch that Steve Rogers caused by staying back in time?
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the things I saw was they were saying like it could be Peggy and not Steve because Steve may have told her something and that's fine, but then she did something about it or said something and that caused the branch. So they had to grab her and she was the variant, but Steve, I guess, was still okay.
Do you know what this clears up? why didn't Cap stop the JFK assassination? Why didn't Cap save Bucky from being tortured this whole time? Why didn't Cap do this? Like, he had all this knowledge.
How many times have they had to reset Steve Rogers?
At least once. I imagine it would probably be one time that they had to reset him because he wanted to stop something, like maybe kill Hitler, or I don't know when exactly he went back, but I think it was after the war.
I think it was 49 it was in 49 that he showed back up. So it was like 4 years after the war.
So then, yeah, maybe stopping JFK from getting assassinated. I don't know. Or maybe it was similar to that episode of Quantum Leap where Sam leapt into Lee Harvey Oswald, and he was like, "Oh, well, you saved Jackie. You didn't shoot Jackie, so I guess that was okay."
Yeah, that's one for the win, Colin. Good job, buddy.
But other than that, maybe they stopped him from going back and dealing with Isaiah.
Oh.
Maybe that was a thing that happened. Who knows?
Maybe.
And wasn't he keeping a book of all the things he was missed out on?
He gave it to Bucky.
No, he gave it to Bucky. They established that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah, because Bucky's like, I don't care about this stuff. I am full of guilt and rage. Like, all right, dude, we get it. We get it. You're Irish. Okay, Barnesy.
What's that, Rich?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over anybody. I apologize.
No.
I thought this most recent episode, with the reveal of Sylvie or Lady Loki, I just thought she was flat. I didn't feel like she had like a lot of connection. Like she, I don't know. I didn't feel like she was like gelling with our regular Loki. It's like it was like she was this and he was personality and charm, and she was like meh, 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 meh.
So I've watched the episode twice so far, and I think that's for a reason. The episode itself was kind of blah, but I think she was being very vague about herself, because I don't think she's going to end up being a Loki. No. So there's one thing that I saw, and in my second rewatch, you can definitely see it when he's singing on the train. And he changes when she wakes up. He like goes into like this very like Norse melody or whatever.
Yeah, Norse song of some sort.
Norwegian death metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they do.
People are saying that quite possibly, and I agree with this, that he's testing her. Like he's singing like a very well-known lullaby for the Asgardians. And he's, I guess, trying to see if she picks up on it. So I think that like whole song was like a test to see if she's really Asgardian or not.
Insofar as this episode, though, like altogether, it's definitely, it's crazy to kind of even put it out there because it's only a 6-episode series, but this was as close to like a filler episode as I've seen. But it had a purpose, and it's because you are supposed to sit there and dwell in the two of them being stuck in that situation. And like you were saying, Leo, there's a purpose to that. I mean, she's being very guarded, and Rich, the thing with Loki being like the draw, and she just kind of being like a wet blanket, all purposeful, because we know and care about Loki already. And that's what we were getting more of, but that's also not what we wanted at that point in time. We want to know what her deal is. And that is
stay tuned.
Yeah, that is Marvel Studios saying like, oh, but wait, there's more. And we see what we see at the end of this episode, and holy flirkin' schnit, what are they gonna do? I actually think that Loki may have a little trick up his sleeve, that little rascal.
What?
So if you get a chance to rewatch it, definitely, I want to know your guys' feelings about it. And Passy, definitely, when you watch it, after she tells him how she does her mind trick, there's a scene where things get very complicated and very fast. And I think we're made to be confused at that time. I think he may be playing mind games with her.
What? Loki playing mind games?
Seems very, very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, totally off brand. You've lost me.
Well, to the point where I think what she's witnessing and what we're witnessing is not the reality.
Yeah, I mean, well, fuck it, Patsy, you're here, man. So
yeah, whatever, dude.
Fine. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were establishing that with the very beginning of the episode. They were trying to say to you, like, that was foreshadowing, like, hey, see this? Like, remember this. This is stuff that happens, and like they don't really show you that or bring it up again for the rest of the episode.
Yeah,
but they made a point of it, and that's that. So I think you might be onto something with thinking that Loki's dense puppets dense.
Yeah.
Do you think Loki has a paperweight with him?
Mm-hmm. I think he might have snagged one of those paperweights when he was in the Officina.
Yeah, I can think of a few different ones that would come in handy. I mean, pretty much any one of mind,
yeah,
reality.
Right? Yeah.
Well, apparently he's holding the time stone.
Oh, see, time. I mean, time just makes the most sense because it's the fucking TVA.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee Valley Authority.
But it would also come in very handy in the situation that he's in right now.
Well, of course. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think it's a Doctor Strange loop?
Hopefully not, because
Dormammu, I've come to battle.
It's the next episode is going to be the exact same thing. Him just singing the lullaby over.
I'm back again.
What up, Dormy? You know what
Dormammu.
this is.
I've come to bargain.
Dormammu, I have a toboggan. Wait, that's not my line.
Wait, what?
So
Never seen movies more than once, not at all.
What's a movie? Oh, you mean the talking picture shows?
I have to say, Doctor Strange is by far my favorite Marvel movie. That's the one I've watched the most so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
for me,
cool.
I think Ragnarok.
Ragnarok's really good too. Yeah.
Taika Waititi, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
he's pretty awesome.
Man, I don't know. I'm hard pressed to pick my favorite MCU movie.
No, I didn't say favorite. I just said watched the most.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, maybe the one I've watched the most is probably Guardians of the Galaxy. That just like that's right up my alley. And the funniest part about it to me is that when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm a comic nerd. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Finally, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Ooh, what's next? The Starjammers?
Oh, I can't wait to see Major Victory. It was
Charlie 27.
So
Yeah, I thought we were gonna get Charlie 27 and Starhawk, and then we got this whole other group. I'm like, who the hell are these guys?
Well, when I saw that Dave Bautista was signed on to play Drax, the first thing I did was I was telling Ashes, for those of you who don't know, my wife about that, and I was like, yeah, there's a scene where Adam Warlock establishes the Infinity Watch, and Drax has the one of the stones. I forget which one he ends up getting, but he has one of the stones on his forehead, and he mistakes it for a jelly bean and eats it. Like that's the Drax I thought we were getting. Like,
yeah, we needed
super dumb.
See, I was skeptical of it until I heard that James Gunn was going to be the director of it.
Yeah,
and,
I was like,
well,
right.
see, for me, like I actually had not been like huge into like some of the stuff he had done, like his horror stuff and what have you. I was a big Trauma kid when I was younger, so I knew that James Gunn had worked on stuff there, and Romeo and Juliet and stuff. But I had also seen this movie when I worked at Blockbuster called The Specials, that he wrote, and I can't even remember who directed. And Jamie Kennedy was basically like the comedic draw to it, and has so many fucking people in it. And I remember watching it, I was like, man, this guy in this wrote this movie? Holy, because James Gunn is in it as well, as alongside his brother Sean. And I was like, wow, imagine what this guy could do if somebody like gave him a budget.
Craig Mazin.
Yeah, I think that's it. And but I remember saying that, like, in telling anyone who would fucking listen, I'm like, watch this movie, like, watch it for what it could be, not what it is. And
so yeah, you got Rob Lowe.
Later, go ahead.
Rob Lowe, Thomas Hayden Church, Paget Brewster, Jordan Ladd, Jamie Kennedy, Mike Schwartz, Kelly Cofield Park, Sean Gunn, Judy Greer, James Gunn. Yeah, like,
yeah, that's an amazing cast. And like, I absolutely, like, I loved the movie, and it did not surprise me years later to see, when I finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, somebody gave that guy a fucking budget. See, I knew it. I knew it. And it's just lovely to think that a lot of that comes from how he was essentially brought up in the industry by working for Lloyd Kaufman over at Troma. Like, it's just, it's so fucking cool to see, like, that weird shit lead to, like, this awesome franchise that so many people love, you know.
And I absolutely love how he keeps his brother and everything. You know, seeing the pictures of him dressed as, you know, the Rocket stand-in.
He's Weasel in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Even in that movie, The Specials, he dresses up his brother Sean as like a fucking weird alien with antennae that just like
Weevil.
Yeah, just fucking weird.
You know, it would be nice if he put his other siblings, Ray and BB, in some of these films.
Dude, the guy's Irish. He's got like 7 other fucking siblings.
It's fair.
So, any other thoughts on Loki?
Just interested to see where this whole multiversal thing is going to bring us story-wise for everything.
Very sad that it's only going to be 6 episodes. I can't get enough of Loki.
What are we getting after Loki? I Black Widow.
Black Widow on July 9th.
Then Miss Marvel later this year.
Well, actually, I know the Eternals.
The Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home,
Shang-Chi. See, I'm used to some of the 5 Deadly Venoms from Shaw Brothers films.
No worries.
And there's Chang Sheh, who is the director, and Sun Chang, who's an actor.
What If might be next on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, What If is supposed to be coming. Yeah,
What
right.
If? Yeah, duh. Yeah,
but I think this multiverse stuff is going to set up some of the things that we see. I do hope they do Marvel Zombies for an episode, because that's.
Well, I think they showed that. I mean,
I was gonna say it's been teased.
Yeah.
Okay,
but just because Marvel puts something in a trailer doesn't mean we're actually going to see it. We've learned that lesson.
So I don't know how accurate this is. Okay, so Black Widow, July, Shang-Chi, September, Eternals, November, Spider-Man, December. For TV shows, Loki, then What If is summer, and then it says Hawkeye, then Miss Marvel are also this year.
Okay.
And then next year for series, we're getting Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
I am so stoked for Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, sure. I don't know. I know the character. I've seen him in comics over the years. Moon Knight has always felt to me as a character that like would have to step up on a fucking stool to be able to reach up and still kiss Batman's ass.
I mean, yeah, he's I mean, the same way like Superman and Batman are Doc Savage and Sherlock Holmes.
It all depends on how they're going to write him. I mean, if they're going to write him that he's totally insane and that he's worshiping Khonshu, but he has like a false grip on reality, I'm excited if that's the case. But if they're just going to do him as another version of Batman, I don't really give a shit.
I think they need him to be fun.
I think I would prepare for a real middle of the road take on both those things you said.
So you want a completely grounded show that's entirely off the wall and swarming with magic robots.
Death.
Done.
Also, you should win stuff by watching.
Large amounts of cash. Or Smilex, whichever you prefer.
One kid seems to love the Speedo Man.
So yeah.
But Starro, how about that anus?
Did you say Starro? Oh my. Yeah, it's gonna be very cool to see what's gonna happen this summer with the Suicide Squad and have Starro be the threat. That is quite literally the most like, never mind Darkseid and the Justice League stuff, because that is just convoluted at this point anyway. Starro is like a full-blown cosmic entity shit. Like, whoa, that's larger world through and through, and I cannot wait to fucking hear Taika Waititi be the voice of Starro.
Yeah, I'd say he's the Starro of the movie.
Hey guys, just came here from space. Just want to see if maybe you'd like to be my eternal slaves. Yeah? Okay. Well, the funny thing about the 80s, I'm going to do it anyway. All right, thanks.
Was this the most we've seen of King Shark so far?
No, the Red Band trailer had a little more.
Okay.
I'm just excited for King Shark to be in it. Yeah.
Bird.
Now, can anyone say the controversy? Because on IMDb, they've got Sylvester Stallone playing King Shark, and then there's another named guy also playing King Shark.
He's doing the mocap.
Yeah.
Stallone's just doing the voice. The other guy's doing the like you've seen him in like the big suits, like David. What's his name? That I can't pronounce his last name. The guy who was in Wendy's commercials right after he was in The Dark Knight. He was also in Ant-Man. He plays Polka Dot Man.
Dastmalchian. David Dastmalchian.
So Dave.
I'm pretty sure that's his name.
Double D.
Yeah, Daredevil. He was in like a motion capture suit at one point. Obviously, Sean Gunn. I'm a little disappointed that Jai Courtney's coming back because fucking Jai Courtney.
What was the alternative?
Not have Boomerang in the movie. I mean, are there not other characters you could bring in instead?
Listen, I mean, this is a James Gunn joint at this point, so you might be pleasantly surprised at the performance that Jai Courtney gives that he was able to pull out of him.
Can we get Kite Man from the Harley Quinn animated series?
Yes, let's get them all. I don't give a flying fuck. Let's get everybody in there, including Jai Courtney's goddamn Boomerang. I don't give a shit.
Especially if he gets killed at the beginning. He ruined Terminator Genesis for me.
He ruined it?
Yes.
He ruined it. All right. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of other factors that ruined it before he was in front of the camera, but okay.
Yeah, the fact that he was cast in the first place.
There's a lot of things that ruined that movie. He's one of them.
He was my least favorite part of that entire thing. Close second was Emilia Clarke.
Oh man, I swear that girl, she needs somebody.
Get her a dragon.
Get her a dragon. Somebody give her a fucking cup of coffee before she goes on set. Not when she's on set, because obviously that leads to Starbucks on tables.
Yes.
No, well, tired. Like, somebody just fucking, I don't know, fucking give her a bump of fucking Coke or something. She is just so fucking lifeless.
Unless she's playing Daenerys Targaryen.
No, because even when she's playing Daenerys, she's like, I'm the freer of slaves. Well, I'm the mother of dragons. They will fear
in the later seasons, yes. Like, in the earlier seasons, she's all fired up.
In the earlier seasons, yes. In the later seasons, she
fired up.
read the script. She knew how it was going to end. So it's just like this life was sucked out of her.
Yeah, well, way to do your job well. Like, like I don't buy it. Like, that's fine, but you know, that's an excuse, not a reason. Like,
have you seen the video of her where they're asking her about the finale, and just the look on her face is just so friggin' priceless. It's like,
does she look like she needs a hug? That's what happened to my head when you said it. I'm like, I bet she looked like she needed a hug, huh? Like, it's okay, Emmy, don't worry.
I mean, that even threw in like that last scene there, even threw in like one of the tropes that I fucking hate about every movie. Oh, you were stabbed anywhere? I guess blood needs to pour out of your mouth. Doesn't matter. Oh, I was shot in the leg. Blood. It's every fucking time. Like, Jesus Christ, can we like can somebody learn what anatomy is?
I didn't mind that at the end when they all got together and they were figuring out, you know, the fact that in that church they had all been dead on the island the whole time. It was pretty cool. Oh, sorry. I confused terrible endings to shows.
This is the one where Jon Snow becomes a lumberjack after the hurricane.
Yes, and after he was done doing everything through Bran, Dr. Sam Beckett.
I was going to say Bran never made the leap home.
But he never made it home.
Yeah, I knew exactly where you were going with that one. Because if anybody is fucking Sam Beckett,
it's Brandon. I'm the three-eyed raven. Oh, really? I had no idea that the kid named Brandon, whose name literally means raven, was going to end up as the fucking Raven? What?
Yeah.
No! Words mean things? Get the fuck out of town!
Well, and the guy who was the three-eyed raven, the original three-eyed raven, was Brendan with a Y.
Yeah, same shit, different smell.
Totally switched you around.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all discombobulated. What? You guys really got my number? Yeah.
B-R-Y? Why not?
He did get upset about Hawkman.
Hawkman, so fucking. Oh God! Don't even get me started on that shit, man. I swear to God.
Thanagarian? Is he Kryptonian? What is he?
So anyway,
his name is Mike.
So real quick, with Hawkman being an old dusty artifact that probably belongs in a museum, did you guys hear the news about Indiana Jones's production and how Harrison Ford got hurt on the set?
An 80-year-old man got hurt doing an action film?
Literally, what?
78. I'm 78.
This is.
I told you I'm 78. I'm not doing any stunts.
Listen, kid. This is why we pay the stunt guys. Listen, I read the news.
Go crash my plane on a golf course.
I read the news to my wife earlier, and the way I read it was, "Oh wow, look, this is crazy." And she goes, "What happened?" I said, "Harrison Ford hurt his shoulder during a fight scene while on the set of Indiana Jones." And she was like, "Oh my God, that's awful." I was like, "Oh no, wait, hold on, I read that wrong. Sorry, it's Harrison Ford hurt his shoulder while eating a low-fat plate while watching his stunt double during a fight scene on the set of Indiana Jones." He's 78. Like, nigh octogenarian Harrison Ford hurts himself. How did he do it? He woke up. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we've seen stories of baseball players having like random injuries. It's like, what happened? Well, I was holding my baby and I looked to the left too fast, and that's how I tore my ACL.
It's just.
It was a fight scene. I went like this, and I moved my arm too fast.
For Christ's sake, at this point, like, I half expect to see Indiana Jones walk by a mirror, see his own reflection, and go, "That belongs in a museum."
Fuck. I'm too old for this shit.
One more movie.
We
need to go excavate Machu Picchu. I went to high school in Machu Picchu.
I mean, he's a spry guy and everything, but for Christ's sake, I mean, at this point,
if you have to be described as spry, maybe you shouldn't be doing action films.
He's basically farting dust at this point, right? I mean,
pretty much, yeah.
If you checked his fucking wallet, I'm fairly certain that his social security number is 12.
I got one of the early ones.
I showed up early that day.
I still have my original phone number. 8.
Ahoy, hoy. Imagine if that's how Harrison Ford, anytime you call Harry Ford, he picks up the phone. Ahoy, hoy.
It'll catch on, I'm telling you. Graham Bell was onto something.
For anybody that doesn't understand why I keep saying that is how Alexander Graham Bell said people should answer the phone. Ahoy,
instead of
hoy.
hello, yes.
Yeah. Ahoy, hoy. Why?
You know, when you see people in the street, you're like, "Hey, hoy, hoy."
Well, we wish him well. Hopefully, he'll finish the movie, and we don't have to get what's his name back for Indy.
Shia
LaBeouf, who must not be named.
Hey, Leo, you don't have to put that movie up on that network. It's okay. We don't need to see it.
What? Crystal Skull?
Indiana Jones 5.
Oh no, I'm gonna see it.
I'm gonna see it. I saw Crystal Skull in
if
the
I saw
theater.
fucking Crystal Skull in theaters, I'm seeing this fucking movie. I almost looked like the guy from fucking Scanners in the audience during that last fucking movie. And not the guy, what's his name from what the hell is his name? Michael Ironside. Not him. Yeah. The dude whose head made like a fucking pinata at a goddamn quinceañera. That guy. Woo!
Yeah, he had a tough day, that guy.
Well,
I watched it. Like, somebody show that guy the new Indiana Jones movie?
I have a splitting headache.
Speaking of tough days, the graphic designer for the Indiana Jones new box set apparently had a tough day, and people are complaining because they used a wrong logo.
It's a picture of Han Solo instead of Indiana Jones.
I guess like the hat and whip is like some generic like hat and whip.
It's a generic hat and whip. Wait.
Oh no!
Wait,
not
hold on.
that.
Wait, I'm just a little.
I'm outraged.
They still left the tag on the hat so you can see how much they spent on it.
That fucking hat is from the Gap. I'm so confused by that.
That's not Indiana Jones' hat. You son of a bitch!
What the fuck do you think this is? It's a fucking game to you, Disney.
Let the record show that I was on the internet within moments, voicing my displeasure.
Worst new cover art ever. like I wish I could see the person that like legitimately got enraged. They would just like, they see it, they click on it, they're like, fuck.
No, you know what it would be? It would be the fucking coffee commercial with Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. Oh, do you know you're drinking like Folgers Crystals? You son of a bitch! We replaced your coffee with freeze-dried Taster's Choice. And he like flips the table.
Like, I just imagine like getting that upset. Like, these motherfuckers! I'm gonna burn this bitch to the fucking ground! Like,
I can't believe you do that. You don't have to buy it. Yes, I do!
Turn into his wife or girl, like, honey, I fucking told you! I fucking told you! Somebody's gonna have to fucking burn Disney to the ground and it's gonna be fucking me! Like, he's just losing his shit. Like, what happened? It's not the right head and whip on Indiana Jones! Like in the movie? On the fucking painting! Kyle, I feel like you may be overreacting a little.
I'm gonna go stay with my sister in Yonkers.
You don't have a sister in Yonkers. Okay, bye.
I'll try to find more information, but yeah, the fanboys were up in arms because of the hat and whip picture.
That's why James isn't joining us. He's filing complaints right now.
Yep.
I'll have you know that I had a new baby daughter today, and I have to take time away from her to voice my displeasure.
This fucking dude. Jesus Christ.
P.S. Parking was ample.
It's really beautiful.
The other
second shout out for James in this show.
What?
James, I really hope you're enjoying those marshmallows, buddy. Apparently, you really earned them.
Okay. Last item I have here, unless you guys have anything else, and actually, Tom Morris mentioned it. Speaking of robots, Transformers announced, and apparently, this is not the continuation of Bumblebee. This is a new venture. So this is the 7th Transformers movie, and it is what is it? It's
Beasts Mode or something.
Yeah, Rise of the Beasts.
Rise of the Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Shaking up fucking words in a bag.
Born of Transformers movie.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's gonna Transformers.
Rise of the Beast.
Flight of the
Deceptive
Dragon. Fly. It's Flight of the Dragonfly, guys. That's the next Transformers movie.
We need a name that's also good for porn parodies. Breast Wars, right on the nose.
So I guess it's going to be a mix of G1 and Beast Wars. Kind of like what they're going to be doing in the next Netflix one. Apparently because of the toys. The next line of toys has...
What? Transformers is putting out
dictated
shows?
by toys?
What?
Pandemonium, utter insanity, unacceptable,
I
mass
can't believe-
hysteria.
That's so off-brand for them.
Well,
Can
know
you
what?
imagine if they just killed off Optimus Prime because they wanted to build new toys?
So yeah, the next Netflix show, which starts soon, the line of toys has already been released, and it's.
I will also point out that this news was released on Prime Day, so.
Oh.
Well, I mean, hats
I
off
mean,
to
it
him,
was. Optimus died for your sins. I still think he should have done like what he did on Robot Chicken.
It can just turn into a coffin.
Yeah, transform into a coffin.
Fucking, there are no real funeral planners like planning services on Cybertron. They just turn into their own fucking receptacle for their own dead body.
Oh, what if a Transformer died while in auto mode? Like, could you still drive him around? Like, would it be weird?
His battery's dead.
Yeah, you can swap that out. I mean, we've seen it. Steve Buscemi was like that character in the, I don't know, one of the most recent ones. I don't know. I can fight with a giant robot sword. I'm Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, fuck Mark Wahlberg. Jesus fucking Christ.
Look at me. I'm fighting with a giant robot sword.
I never even saw that movie. Just the trailer was enough for me. Like,
he's in two of them.
I didn't see either one of them. I didn't fucking care. I don't like Mark Wahlberg as a person, okay? Like, up front, close, like, he's a dick. But regardless, like, the second I saw him in a trailer and he was like, I think we got a Transformer here. I'm like, yeah, fuck
I'm an
you.
inventor.
What? Yeah, I'm an inventor. I'm like, yeah, all right, from fucking Dorchester. All right, pal.
What did you invent? There's this. It was like fucking Mark Zielinski from fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I invented this new way to tie the bag before you like rip it and burn it closed for the crack when you sell it. Buddy.
I call this a twist tie.
I threw them at the bottles at the colored kids across the street.
That sounds an awful lot like the street Mark Wahlberg grew up on.
Exactly.
Right across the street from Kay Hanley, lead singer of Letters to Cleo.
Well, yeah, you mentioned that on one of our shows.
Yeah, fucking so weird. Like she's like a pretty halfway decent person who got sober, and she does her thing, and like Mark Wahlberg, he was like a modern day David on the streets of Dorchester, slinging rocks.
This is me. These are my friends, the Funky Bunch.
Mark, that's just your backpack.
To my Calvin Kleins.
Oh my God.
Give me a job. My brother's a new kid on the block.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Leo was mean to me on the set.
Come on.
Diary.
Feel it.
It affected my career.
Well,
anyway, I'm excited for them to do a new Transformers. Hopefully, it'll be done right this time.
Yeah, I mean, was it 8th time's the charm?
Well, Bumblebee actually wasn't that bad.
Bumblebee wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
No, Pat. 8 is enough.
8 is enough. Oh, look, I'm Dick Van Patten.
Oh, I just want to say, so the Netflix series, I didn't really care for it. But I guess
which one?
The last one. The first one was okay.
Are we still talking Transformers?
Transformers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I saw this online where so you can see pictures of Megatron. And apparently the animators were so lazy, they used the same exact 3D models they used to make the toy.
That sounds about right.
So if you
screen accurate action figures.
If you look at Megatron in the show, he has treads, but it has that little wheel underneath.
Oh, that's pretty lame.
That's amazing.
That's lame to get.
I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to voice it on the internet again.
Oh yeah. I'm
James, get on that.
Hello, sir. I'm back to voice my displeasure.
The Ecto 1's paint job was not eggshell white.
It was more mother of pearl than anything else, and I, for one, am highly offended that you thought you could pass this by me.
This is not fire engine red. This is candy apple red. How dare you?
I would be expecting a fire safety vehicle coming down the street, and instead I would see what is essentially akin to a Corvette. This is unnecessary and offensive.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Oh, zombie Jeebus.
Hey, check out the screen I'm in for the upcoming shot of the new Daredevil video game that's coming out.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see is absolute horror.
Oh, marvelous.
The silly boys.
Well, so, anyway,
yeah, this was a blast. Did you guys have anything else before we wrap things up?
We could probably go for another 3 hours on the random shit we would talk about, Leo. You've been on the show with me and Brandon.
Yeah, that without a doubt, and that's why Leo's trying to end it now.
You guys don't have anything else to say, right? Because I
got one thing. Okay, everyone, have a great night.
It's been 2 hours. I gotta get up in the morning.
I will say that it's very impressive. That I don't think a lot of people realize this, but the theme at the beginning, when Leo pushes us live and like it goes blank, and we see all the graphics and stuff. Leo is actually playing every instrument at the same time of the theme song. People don't realize that, so I have to try and point that out every now and then.
Well, thank you, Passy. Thank you. It's very difficult, and I get no recognition for it except when you bring it up. So thank you. Yeah.
Very talented man. Don't let
worry,
anybody
I won't ever recognize it for you. So,
well, on that note, I think that's all that I have.
That's all, folks.
If anybody watches it normally, they haven't seen it yet, go out and see the new episode of Superman and Lois that was on this week. It provided a flashback / origin-esque type look at the character, and a whole lot more in his old school Fleischer-esque costume. Nice. And they really established Lois and Clark's relationship, and they do something great that I really like. Clark and Lois themselves actually like one another, and Superman has no bearing on that relationship whatsoever. If you see the episode, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it's done well, and it's a lot of exposition that's necessary before the very end of it. You'll kind of get the idea when you see the title of the episode itself, but check it out. It's really good.
Fun fact about that episode as well. Lois is an anagram of silo.
Yep, that's right.
And that's where they keep corn. And Clark grew up on a farm, which is why he's so attracted to her, because nobody knows this, but Superman is actually dyslexic. So the first time he wrote her name, he wrote Clark loves silo. And
well, I guess
doesn't come up much.
I guess,
did he have a corn issue? Like he like choking on the corn in the silo?
Wow.
Do you know what the difference is between your grandmother and a grain silo? The difference between your grandmother and a grain silo is one is a corn bin and the other is your born kin.
You could also say one is a granny and the other is a granary.
Mm-hmm. Both are true.
Boom. I also
see, and you learn shit on this show.
Yeah, yeah, like Brandon and Patsy should not be left to their own devices while Leo's trying to end a show.
That's true, because Leo will not interrupt us.
All right, so everyone, let's finalize this.
Yes, let's do the end.
Well, yeah, it's I'm just trying to be respectful of.
Yeah, so are we, just like not as well as you.
I know Leo's got all the controls at his disposal, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll let these two maniacs just keep jabbering on."
Yeah, go right ahead, boys. Go right ahead.
It's fun, you know. It's well, okay. On that note, Velvet Joker, where do you like people interacting with you?
You can check me out on Instagram, Velvet Joker 2021, or you can catch me every Tuesday night on Splash Pages.
Awesome. Oh, and Justin is in for next week. We picked out a book. I need to find it and I will get it to you guys.
Out a book.
Patsy.
Well, you can find me generally with Leo on Mondays for Creator Spotlight, but if you have not already and you have yourself a podcast or a Twitch stream or a YouTube channel, please go to amalga-mania.com so you can submit your show for the first annual Amalgamania Podcast and Entertainment Awards.
Awesome.
We have 5 categories, and this is the trophy that you will get. Look how goddamn thick this thing is. Like, this is thicker than my finger. Very nice, heavy-duty acrylic, but all 5 categories will be getting one of these with your name and category upon it. There will be a live show where we do our award presentation. And speaking of live shows, tomorrow, Thursday, June 24th, not July 24th, but June 24th at, I don't know, probably like 8-ish, Ashes Von Nightmare and myself will be on celebrating the 6th anniversary of Throwdown Thursday. We started June 24th, 2015. And this will be episode 261, 261. I don't know. I forget. It's been a long time. But we'll be doing that live, and we're going to be looking for folks to give us their top 6 characters that we have covered over the past 6 years, and or 6 characters that they'd like to see us cover in the future. So there's a lot that we have not covered. Superman, Batman, we have never talked about any of that. Well, I mean, we've mentioned them in passing, but we've never done a show on them. But if you have any stuff, we'll be broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube. So just check out Throwdown Thursday podcast, and you'll find us. But yeah, give us your information.
Ooh, I have a character that you should cover, and I'm pretty sure you have not covered him yet. And you probably is a little known character, but have you thought about Quint from Jaws?
Yes, we've actually covered Quint from Jaws. The episode is titled "Here's to Swimming with Bow-Legged Women," and we covered Quint with our good friend Alex DiVincenzo, who is a huge Jaws fan and a friend of Brandon's as well.
Awesome. Speaking of Brandon,
yes. First of all, That's what she said. I'm sorry. I wanted to say that in the middle of you talking about that award so badly, Pat. You're like, look at how thick this is. Look at it from the side. I'm like, huh, all right, man. A little
it's so hard and thick. Don't you want this award?
Oh, it's smoother than I thought it'd be. Anyway, yes, that was a really great episode with Alex DiVincenzo on with you guys. You guys both love Jaws so much that it was really good to hear you both get into it. But yeah, for myself, you guys can follow me at the Powers Combined group on Facebook. Number one rule is don't be a jerk. Just a lot of fun, geeky stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Brandon's Powers and Instagram at This Brandon Has Powers. And I'm also here every Wednesday with Leo and everyone else who shows up, and got some other stuff in the pipeline right now, and that's about it.
Very cool. And for me, just Google Leo Pine. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. I'm not going to say which is which, but more importantly, follow these awesome people. You won't regret it. And I run a little thing called the Dorkening Podcast Network with 40 shows on the network now, which is absolutely insane. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Sayonara.
Bye, everyone.